Good morning, good afternoon or good night. Wherever you are, have a good day. We have arrived at the third Nintendo build, and this time not a Mario build, but a Zelda one. Today we make the Master Sword from the famous Zelda games. This is Link his weapon, which he uses to defeat Ganondorf. We don't use it to slay someone, but to travel between worlds. We are going with the sword to the Nether. We start building the Nether portal. The bottom row consists of 5 obsidian blocks. The height of the Nether portal will be 17 blocks. This becomes the base of the sword's blade. I've just scrolled through the blocks briefly. We will add the green stained glass later on. This is used for the hilt. The height of the sword will be about 50 blocks high, where a piece of the blade is in the ground. We don't make that part, but still it feels like the sword is much bigger. Now that we are done with the Nether portal, we can give the sword the shape and shine it deserves. I use white concrete blocks for this. They somewhat resemble the precious metal of the Master Sword. We start with 13 blocks, followed by 1 block diagonally, and another one after that. Then we work back to the blade in the same way. Do this for the other side too, so that you get a curvy side just like the Master Sword. The Master Sword was originally crafted by the goddess Hylia as the goddess sword, and was later forged into the Master Sword by the goddess chosen hero and its spirit V. Now add 2 more blocks above the Nether portal. Make sure this is 1 block in front of the Nether portal and not on top of the Nether portal. On top of these 2 blocks comes 1 block of gold. At this point we can add the Triforce to the sword. Normally the Triforce is pure gold, but on the sword it has a bit of a nice blue glow, which we also try to process in the sword. It is difficult to make the Triforce really triangular, but with some good imagination it looks good with a layer of glass over it. We can now fill in the blade with glass. For this I use cyan, light blue and blue glass. Below the Triforce I use the cyan and light blue glass, and above I use the blue blocks. You can also mix the cyan and light blue glass in the bottom part, but I fancy this one. Don't forget to keep a gap on the bottom 2 blocks, or you'll get stuck in the Nether forever, and that's a nightmare. By adding cyan glass blocks on the Triforce, it looks a bit more real and as one piece. Thereby the Triforce comes out into its own on the sword. Now fill the rest of the gaps with the blue stained glass up to the height of the gold blocks. Now that this is filled, we can continue working on the hilt of the sword. For this we need the blue concrete blocks. At the end of the Nether portal, build 10 blocks in a straight line up. Do this for the other side as well. Between the 2 pillars you can build a bridge of concrete blocks. Then we go down again, where we have to put down an upside down Triforce of blue stained glass. Then we can use our purple wool for a bit of color variation. This to give a little bit of depth. You can also use purple concrete blocks for this. Place this purple wool on the portal line. We will soon place a number of glass blocks over this. Then fill the hole with a line of 4 gold blocks and 2 blocks of gold on either side. On the middle 2 blocks, add another row of 2 gold blocks for some extra detail. Fill in the last remaining 2 holes with 2 blue concrete blocks. What follows is the placing of the blue stained glass over the blue concrete blocks and the purple wool. Keep both points free of glass. We will build further from here later on. The next part to come is a bit tricky. I'll tell you row by row what you need to do to make the Master Sword's crossguard. We start with 3 blocks up from the second highest block of the hilt. After this, follow with 2 blocks, just like this. Continue with 4 blocks with 1 sticking out on either side. Do the same, but then with 6 blocks. Then add 2 blocks to the highest block so that 1 sticks out as well, creating a sort of staircase. Then you skip 1 block and add 5 blocks in a straight line down. Then add 3 blocks to the 5 blocks and build a staircase down from 3 blocks in 2 more rows, just like this. Now we still have to provide the crossguard with a kind of 3D shape. Do this with blue concrete and blue stained glass blocks. I have chosen to provide the bottom and the top rows with blue concrete blocks and in between with a few holes of blue stained glass. Of course, you can make the sword wherever you want, but how cool is it to build this design on the top of a mountain or in a forest like the Twilight Princess? But I'll leave that up to you. For the other side, which is identical but mirrored, I'll play the accelerated version. Otherwise, just follow the previous steps. I hope you guys like these builds. In the future, I want to make much bigger builds than this. Possibly start my own Minecraft server where people can show their creations. But for now, we'll stick with this. For the next step, we will first create a layer of 3 blocks, followed by a layer of 5 blocks of blue concrete. And finally, we will close this with 2 layers of 7 blocks. If you like this build and would like to check out my other builds, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more builds. We add 2 layers of 1 cyan glass block above the gold block, followed by 3, and we close with 5 glass blocks. Fill the top row with blue stained glass to get a nice transition to the rest of the hilt of the sword. Then from the center with blue concrete blocks, make a straight line up from 11 blocks. Make 3 rows to the same height. We have just made the grip, which we still need to decorate, but we'll make the pommel on the top first. Start with 3 layers of 5, followed by a layer of 3, and finish with 2 layers of 1 block. Now it's finally time to decorate the grip. For this, I used green stained glass to make a nice reflection of the grip of the Master Sword. This gives the build just a little extra color and charm. To make the grip look a bit like a vine, I use green stained glass. I keep a hole between every stained glass, so it gives you a bit of a woven feeling. For the pommel we use blue stained glass and blue concrete blocks. The latter we use first to make a thickening so that it really starts to look like a handle. From the last green glass block, build a line of 1, then 3 and then 5 blocks. Finally close with 3 and then 1 block. Then switch to the blue stained glass blocks and make a cross in the middle of it. Then you fill in a row with blue stained glass on the sides, just like I do here. Do this for the other side too, and don't forget, like me, to provide the top with a nice layer of blue stained glass. To complete the sword, make sure to add these tabs on the other side as well. At the end of the video, I'll show you what it looks like. Now the best moment of the show. We can light the nether portal and our sword comes alive. I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you are going to build this yourself in your own world, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more, keep following me. More tutorials will follow soon. Thanks for watching.